Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is April 28th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1979, Titus O'Neil. 1983, CZW wrestler Eddie Osborne. And last but not least, 1987, Drew Gulak. And of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for April 28th. And it's a hard one. We lost 3 today. First, 2002, Lou Thez. Next, 2005, Chris Candido. And last but not least, 2009, Buddy Rose. Whew. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for April 28th. A short trip in the Wayback Machine today. We're going to 1979. The WWF run an event at the Philadelphia Spectrum, with the main event seeing Greg Valentine defeating world champion Bob Backlund when the match was stopped due to Backlund's excessive bleeding. However, because there was no pinfall or submission, Backlund retained the title. 1986, the AWA run their Rage in a Cage event. In the main event, Animal and Hawk defeat Ivan Koloff and Nikita Koloff in a 2-on-2 steel cage match. Making the jump to 1990, Jimmy Valiant defeats Jerry Lawler for the USWA Unified Heavyweight title in Memphis, Tennessee, ending Lawler's 5th reign with the title and beginning Valiant's 2nd. On the same show, Brickhouse Brown and Sweet Daddy Falcone defeat Rex King and Steve Dahl for the USWA Tag Team titles. Staying in 1990, Saturday night's main event, The Tussle in Texas, aired on NBC, with the main event, WWF World Champion The Ultimate Warrior defeating Haku with a splash. 1995, a new record for the largest crowd to attend a professional wrestling event is set in North Korea for a New Japan event as part of the World Peace Festival. The show drew a crowd of 150,000, but the record would only stand for one day, as it would be shattered the next night. The main event sees IWGP Heavyweight Champion Shinya Hashimoto versus Scott Orton end in a 20-minute time limit draw. 1996, In Your House 7, Good Friends, Better Enemies, aired on pay-per-view from Omaha, Nebraska at the Civic Auditorium. The show would feature the final WWF appearances of Diesel, aka Kevin Nash, and Razor Ramon, aka Scott Hall, before their historic moves to WCW. The main event would see World Champion Shawn Michaels defeat Diesel in a no disqualification match with a super kick. And last but not least, 1997, Owen Hart defeats Rocky Maivia for the WWF Intercontinental title in Omaha, Nebraska, putting an end to Rock's first ever WWF Championship reign. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for April 28th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.